Mahalo Adolu. Hello everyone and welcome to PNH TV. This is your Philippine market wrap for the November 4th, 2025. Let's take a quick look at how the market moved today. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index, or PSEi, closed at 5,867.04. That's 38.98 point higher, or a gain of 0.67%. After Monday's sharp decline, the index managed a mid-rebound today as bargain hunter returned to the market. Still, investor remains cautious amid ongoing concerns about economic growth. By sector, performance was mixed. Financials led the gain, rising 2.09%. Property stocks also advanced 1.94%, while services added a modest 0.12%. On the other hand, industrials dropped 1.24% and mining and oil slipped 1.20%. Overall, 4 sectors advanced, 2 declined, and 1, holding firms, was almost unchanged. Among the most active issues today, International Container Terminal Service, or ICTSI, fell slightly by 0.57%, closing at 526 pesos. BDO Unibank rose 3.29% to 132 pesos, and BPI gained 2.62% to 105 pesos and 70 centavos. DigiPlus Interactive surged 10.53% on heavy trading volume. Ireland, SM Investment, and GT Capital all ended higher, while DMCI Holdings plunged 8.27%. Trading volume reached 538 million shares, valued at 6.37 billion pesos. There were 68,000 trades recorded today, with 180 gainers, 83 decliners, and 57 unchanged issues. Overall, the quiet but positive trading day as investors wait for a key date on inflation and third quarter GDP later this week. Investor patience is wearing danger thin at its showing. Philippine stocks slumped again on Monday as investors braced for weak third quarter GDP data. The sell-off came amid a radon corruption probe centered on ghost flood control projects that have sparked public outrage. Confidence in government reform is still fading. The PSEi dropped on 1.7% on Monday, closing at 5,828.06. It hit an intraday low of 5,761.32, down 2.44%. That brings loss of 10.7% year to date and almost 20% over the past 12 months. Foreign investors sold aggressively, posting net foreign selling 1.33 billion pesos. Analysts warn that market confidence has been badly shaken. Gianpaolo Collet, managing director at China Bank Capital, said they need to right their ship before the negative narrative gets worse. He urged the government to move fast on reforms to restore both investor and consumer trust. A big drag on Monday's market was International Container Terminal Service Incorporated, the most valuable component of the PSEi Index. Its stock plunged 9.4% intraday to 485 pesos, briefly losing its 1 trillion peso valuation. It later recovered, closing at 529 pesos, down just 0.19%, with more than 2 billion pesos traded. Over the past decade, the PSEi has been the world's worst performer, down 17%, while most Asia-Pacific markets rallied. Analysts said restoring credibility will require credible budget and procurement reforms, and reboot of Build Better More infrastructure spending and stronger trade terms with the United States. Stefan Q. Onjin, writing in the Manila Times, warns, if corruption issues are resolved, this is a buying opportunity. If not, it becomes a value trap. He says analysts' confidence, liquidity, and governance are improved. Cheap valuation may fall even further. Fund managers are now warning of fading consumer confidence. Loss of consumer confidence in a corruption-driven economy is dangerous, one of them said. Analysts say urgent government action is needed to prevent the slide from becoming irreversible. As one trader quoted Mark Twain, slowly, then all of a sudden. And that is your Philippine market wrap for November 4th, 2025. I'm your host on P2 TV. Thank you for watching and see you next market update. Salamat kayo, Amping.